I love Sly. Sly Rocky Rambo Stallone. Continuing to bust Heine in Rocky 2. I always liked that movie, even though most people thought it wasn't as good as Rocky Uno. Mainly because it brought worldwide attention to the problem of postnatal coma. Talia Shire must have been really happy when they sent her the script. Talia, in this one, you go into postnatal coma. You know, for an actress. Well, do I have lines? Well, no, not while you're like a vegetable. But my favorite Rocky actor, though, is Burt Young. I want to have a Burt Young film festival some night. Burt, if you're watching, drop by Monstervision some night. We'd love to have you on. Bring a cigar. Anyway, speaking of Monstervision, tonight we have an expert on fisticuffs. Mr. Roddy Piper is my special guest because it's PE night on Joe Bob Summer School, week 6 of our continuing education course for the brain-damaged regulars who watch us all summer. And we'll be showing a couple of Roddy's best films, They Live, the John Carpenter classic about outer space ghouls taking over L.A., followed by Immortal Combat, the story of these Mayan steroid monsters that are harvested from death and then turned into zombie super killers by Meg Foster. And as I say, Roddy Piper, one of the veterans of the WCW, one of the all-time most popular wrestlers on TV. He's been wrestling for years, and he's going to be joining me for the duration tonight. You've already been watching violence for the last 2 hours, so make it just a triple feature pile-driving body slam as we run up that corpse count tonight. Roddy can be a seriously deranged guy, too, if you've never met him, and I'm here to egg him on. So, is that enough self-promotion?
Oh, yeah.
Are the credits over? Because I can't talk forever. Jesus.
See Monstervision host Joe Bob Briggs next on TNT.
Professor Joe Bob Briggs here with week number 6 of our summer school session. And what does that mean, class? That means we're beating this thing like a dead Appaloosa, right? For those of you in the accelerated program, tonight's class is cardiovascular and strength conditioning as it pertains to physical fitness. For those of you in the remedial program, PE. You are required to suit up, hunker down, and maintain a grade of D or higher, which actually won't get you diddly, but if you pass the final on the Monstervision website at the end of the summer, you will get this very diploma here, yay, which in turn is good for 3 credit hours at Jefferson Davis Vocational Technical Middle School in Bogalusa, Louisiana. We have 2 training films we'll be showing you tonight. John Carpenter's They Live and the great Immortal Combat, both starring our guest lecturer, Roddy Piper, professional wrestler and fitness expert Roddy Piper, will be arriving shortly at our first break to help me whoop your sorry butts into shape. Right now, we have a bunch of bug-eyed yuppies tunneling around under the ground, and They Live. It's about these outer space ghouls that live underneath L.A. where they make Lee press-on nails commercials and talk to one another through their Rolexes and send out riot squads to bulldoze the homeless. And they're all from the planet Andromeda, which evidently went 99% for Newt Gingrich in the last election. And our only hope for destroying the ghoul satellite dish, which puts everybody to sleep so they can't tell where that they're sitting around in hot tubs with these pus-faced outer space aliens, is Roddy Piper, who just got into town from Denver and happens to be hanging around the shanty town when the ghoul police run through it with clubs and shotguns, killing blind street preachers for cutting into their profit margins. That's all I'm going to tell you about it. Anyway, John Carpenter at his best. The drive-in totals are 2 breaths, extra credit tonight for those who can figure out where those things are, 64 dead bodies, yuppies from outer space, exploding TV studio, one of the most hellacious 2-man brawls ever put on film, National Guard foo, garbage truck foo, and Meg Foster foo. 4 stars, check it out, and we will be here. People say to me, Joe Bob, where can I download? I don't want to hear about that. Ask your mother about that. But if you want to find out about the Monstervision schedule or read some of the weirdest mail I've gotten since my ex-wife sent me a cherry bomb Valentine, or just ogle the Playmate of the Week, then write this down, tnt.turner.com/Monstervision. 24 hours a day, you can waste time there and download all you want.
Visit the Monstervision website at tnt.turner.com/Monstervision. Back to Monstervision host Professor Joe Bob Briggs and They Live on TNT.
Okay, there's something weird going on in L.A., and Roddy Piper wants to know what it is. Luckily, we have none other than Roddy himself. Professional wrestler, movie star, bagpiper, and he's in the house tonight. Welcome to Monstervision, Roddy.
Thank you very much. Pinnacle of my career. This is it. I don't have to do anything else in the rest of the world. Nothing. Go home to the kids, relax, watch you on Monstervision. You know my kids love you.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not.
Who do you hate this year, and who hates you on these pay-per-view wrestling matches?
Jeepers, everybody.
You don't even remember.
Who hates me right now? I suppose I'm the reason Hogan's got no hair. So I suppose yank that stuff right out of there. I did send him some Viagra, so that ought to help him. So I think he would be the guy that hates me most.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Well, Pro Wrestling Illustrated named you the most inspirational wrestler of the year in 1982 and the most hated wrestler of the year in 1984. Now, how do you go from inspiring to hated in 2 years?
Boy, that's journalism, huh? I'll tell you, I did a thing in Madison Square Garden. I'll tell you how WrestleMania started real quick is I was doing a fight for MTV, Hogan against Piper, and there was lots of celebrities there, make it short. Somebody jumped up on the apron. I stepped over and knocked him out. And there was a blonde that came under the ropes. I stepped over and kicked them. The one I knocked out was Mr. T. The one I kicked was Cyndi Lauper. Complete accident. Complete accident. And no one would believe me. The New York City police...
No one would believe it was an accident?
Nobody believed it was an accident. I was trying to beat this almost blonde-headed guy. And the New York City police came in, they grabbed me, and I just felt an arm. So I hip-tossed them. They don't like that at all. No. And there they were and scrunched up, and that was called the War to Settle the Score. And the promoters then got on the bandwagon and made WrestleMania 1. And that's exactly how it started.
Did you go to jail?
Oh, yeah. How many times? Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Well, I think you're the best actor to come out of World Championship Wrestling or any wrestling organization. And maybe it's because that you had life experience, especially for this part that you're playing in the movie tonight, because you were homeless yourself for a while, right?
Yeah. I took it upon myself to leave when I was 13, and I lived on the street, hustling quarters, had a youth hostel. What I used to do is I used to get my bagpipes out, They'd beat me up all the time, because I was just, 13, pimply, and all the spots on the road were taken by tougher guys. And so I'd go down and I'd get my bagpipes and I'd play my bagpipes, and they'd say, this guy's harmless. And I'd get him in the car, and I just continued on playing the bagpipes, and the rest is...
So you're saying they would leave you alone when you played the bagpipes?
Yeah.
A lot of times,
What is that? Doggone it, Martha. I was in Texas playing them when I was 16 in the ring, and, they almost killed me. They didn't understand that. Why is that boy in the dress like that? Why is he squeezing that damn animal like that? That's SPCA stuff, man. It's terrible. Man.
And it's still kind of your trademark. You still get out the pipes every once in a while, right?
I was in Wembley Stadium in London, England, and I played for 80,000 people there. Princess Di at that time, and a couple other places, Royal Albert Hall, etc.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you go from being homeless to being a famous wrestler, which must be kind of strange because wrestling fans are strange, aren't they?
I've been stabbed 3 times. I don't know.
You ever wake up in the morning and say, what in the hell am I doing in this business?
I did that this morning. God's truth. The guy in the hotel this morning came with a hammer, or rather a flashlight. Bang, bang, bang. You missed your wake-up call by a half hour. Get out of here. Because I'm a little punchy,
Okay, let's get back to the movie. We'll talk some more about this because I don't want to say anything that'll give away the plot yet, but roll the movie.
Hi, I'm Reno, the Monstervision mail girl. And in case you don't know, Monstervision is also on the internet, and it's updated every week. To find us, go to tnt.turner.com/Monstervision, and you'll see our horrible lead stories of the week. In fact, you might even find out something about me. Pleasant dreams.
See Reno deliver the Monstervision fan mail to Joe Bob Briggs every Saturday night on TNT. Back to Monstervision host Professor Joe Bob Briggs, and they live on TNT.
Great dialogue in that flick. That last sequence had the greatest line in the movie. You want to do that line for us, Roddy?
I come here to chew bubble gum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubble gum.
I think my...
You know, I'll be honest with you, John Carpenter, you know, I'm in sunglasses and a plaid shirt and a shotgun, and I'm walking to a bank.
Yeah.
He says, I got nothing written, just say something. What do you say? I'm not robbing the bank.
You made that up?
Yeah, right on the spot.
You should be writing
the
these
reason is,
screenplays.
because I was chewing bubble gum and I spit it out just before I walked in the door, and so I was all out of bubble gum, you know, and
great.
the next thing I was going to do was kick ass.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think
Seems sensible to me, you know. Joe Bob. Billy Bob. I like Petticoat Junction. You just remind, those are your sisters? Because I want to come home with you. You remember Petticoat Junction? Yeah, and Petticoat Junction.
I didn't get that job, honey.
You didn't get it? You should have.
I think my favorite line in the movie is, your head looks like it fell into the cheese dip back in 1957. Right?
Yeah, that was,
Did you improvise a lot of stuff in the picture? Does he encourage that?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
No, that's why he loves me so much to this very day. He does. Yes. Hi, John. How are you? Yeah, hair any grayer? Yeah, not since I left, huh?
Well, we know you've got the gift of gab because you had that great interview show we used to do on WWF, Piper's Pit.
Piper's Pit, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Was that
we
your
did
idea to do that?
Yeah, made it up in a bar in St. Louis. And Vince McMahon, who at that time was the Mongol of the fight game, I came up to him and I said, just give me 2 minutes and a show over here because I don't like people to see me wrestle on TV. You want to see me wrestle, you got to pay because I got to pay the rent. And I change Pampers, too. I got to pay for the Pampers, okay? And so, the first one that we did was just like 3 sheets of cardboard. You know, no expense spared, you know, and 3 sheets of cardboard. You know, it's a nice locker room, just hasn't had the smell yet. It's close, huh? Yeah. And 3 pieces of cardboard, and away I went with it. And it lasted 4 years until I just got tired of doing it.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
you get burned out.
Fondly remembered show. And, but the screenwriter of They Live, I noticed, is listed as Frank Armitage.
Yeah.
But people say that's an alias for John Carpenter. Do you have any insight into that?
They're right.
They're right. For some reason, he didn't want to put his name on the movie.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you get more money that way.
All right, there's one more mystery in this movie. Some of the females on our staff noticed that you're wearing a wedding ring in this movie, but you never mentioned having a wife in the movie. I didn't notice this, Roddy. The female. Don't get the wrong idea.
Well, I saw the other show where you said you weren't gay, so I feel fine.
Okay. But was that like character backstory, or did you just forget to take your ring off, or what?
No, I'll tell you exactly what that is. I've been married 19 years. I got 6 kids, and I'm away from home a lot. And every time I shoot something, unless they disagree with it, I wear my wedding ring. That was why it's kind of a way of telling my wife and my kids that I love them. And I've always done that. And if they insist, or if the roll calls for somebody that's a killer maniac or something that's not right, I comply. Otherwise, I just wear it whether they like it or not.
Roddy. That's so sweet. It's going to destroy your image.
Oh, no, there's another side to me. You know.
Okay,
definitely.
well, we're getting to the part where Meg Foster shows up, so let's get back to the movie. Oh, I see we have some comedians in the audience. Well, we have an outlet for all that destructive energy, young man and young woman. Just enter our Monstervision caption contest and try to make the 6-headed jury laugh. And the winner gets our exclusive Monstervision t-shirt, plus the scorn of all the sore losers. Just go to tnt.turner.com/Monstervision, and maybe you can prove just how hysterically funny your mom never realized you are.
Play the Monster Caption Contest and win a free t-shirt at tnt.turner.com/Monstervision. Back to Monstervision host Professor Joe Bob Briggs, and They Live on TNT.
All right, that was a great stunt, where Meg Foster clubs you over the head with a bottle and you go flying through the plate glass window.
If you weren't doing the flying, it was terrific.
Did you do that stunt?
Yeah.
You do your own stunts?
Yeah, in those days I did. Yeah, but I got smart now.
You don't do them anymore?
Not high falls like that. No, they kill me. But as a matter of fact, when we did that scene, Meg Foster, they had a bottle that she hit me in the back of the head with, you just saw. And she took the bottle and she hit me whack. It didn't break. This one, so, okay, that's okay, Meg, that's fine. Just go back and try again, you know. So she went, whack, didn't break. That's fine, mate. Double! Double! Fine, finally, whoa, and the thing broke, and through the glass we went. But on my way down, I drove my head into the dirt, which caused...
You really did hurt yourself.
Yeah, I hurt myself a little bit on that one, but
wow.
not much brain damage, but, you know, some spinal tap, you know. There was a lot of hiccups in They Live, a lot of tension, a lot of clicks, and here was this jock coming in. I started, I think, about 240 or 245, and I got down to 205, and Carpenter was spending a lot of time with me at that time, and other people were feeling it, and so I'm not sure that I am one of Meg Foster's best. I don't think there's a calendar of me in Meg Foster's room.
Oh, really?
You know, but, hey, Meg, you're great, you know?
Okay.
Excuse me, hair furball.
So she was enjoying that little thing with the bottle, huh?
I think that, yeah, with the bottle, yeah, I think she just go ahead and pick the bottle from behind the bar. And
How
give
many
it a couple
times
of
have you
shots.
been injured in your life?
Oh, jeez. Well, serious, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 serious.
5? What's the worst one you ever got when you were wrestling?
I got a total right hip replacement.
Wow. When you said
I've
you
been
were
stabbed 3 times.
stabbed?
Yeah, like that. Ha.
Just
They,
when
they
you're
went
walking?
like that, too. Ha.
When you're walking?
I don't stab a lot of people. I don't know.
What's the worst injury you've inflicted on somebody else?
Oh, I broke a guy's neck. Put
You
him on-
broke a guy's neck?
Yeah.
A guy in the ring?
Yeah, yeah.
Not a fan.
No, I would have liked to break a few of their necks. but you're lovely people.
You know what kills me that you guys do when you throw each other down flat on your backs from about, 10 feet up in the air, and when there's not that much padding on it, how do you land on your back that many times a match?
Well, you know, they say you know how to fall. Not 20 times a night I don't know how to fall, all right? All right, yeah, you know what it is. There's weekend warriors, and then there's about 60 guys that do it for a living. And you just take the shot. And there's no magic to it. There's no mirrors. You just take the shot, and that's what you get paid for. And you try to save a few dollars if you're not working for Don King, and you go on, you know. And if you don't cut the mustard, then you're selling used cars. And I got a really nice one out there, a green one.
All right. Well, we're about to watch some of the greatest stunt fighting of all time. I don't want to say anything more about it, but we'll talk after we watch this scene, okay? Back to the movie.
Back to Monstervision host Professor Joe Bob Briggs, and They Live on TNT.
All right, is that the greatest fist fight in the history of the movies? That is one hellacious fist fight. I love that fight. That fight goes on for 7.5 minutes of actual screen time. How long did it take to rehearse and shoot that baby?
That fight was actually 5 minutes longer. They edited it down to 7.
It was 12.5.
Yeah. And I tell you, they got the wonderful gentleman, Keith David, really nice man. And he's a dancer. And so John Carpenter told me to take him in his backyard for 3 weeks and teach him how to fight. And usually fighters are really good dancers because of their footwork. But that's not true in reverse.
Oh, okay.
And so I take him down, and I'm trying to teach him, okay, this is what we're going to do, and he's hitting me, and he has no idea, but he hits like Ernie Shavers. He's strong as a bull. He has no idea how strong he is. And he's killing me, and he's hitting me, and I'm trying to, finally 3 weeks go by, we go, and we pretty much got it down, and so they got 3-camera shoot, and they want to do it over 3 days. And it got time to shoot the fight scene. And Keith was a little excited because he was a wrestling fan, and he wanted to get in there. And so he was trying to do Hollywood punches, and he was like kicking me up the nose there, you know. And, oh, no, that's okay, Keith, baby. You keep up the good work there. I just be right with you there, you know.
So he was hurting you.
He was killing me. And so finally, in that fight scene, and preface it by John Carpenter had asked me to watch The Quiet Man by John Wayne. He wanted the longest fight scene in the history of cinema. And there's a fight scene where John Wayne goes all over the place. And so that was my instructions. And finally, during the fight on screen, I just said to Keith, hit me. It's not worth it. You're killing me. You know, these fake Hollywood punches are killing me. So he just went into it, and except for the face, he just went into it and started clubbing away as hard as he could, and we got it all done in one shot there.
Wow. Well, your pro wrestling career certainly paid off with that, because...
Yeah, I'm not sure I can beat him. I know, he was a pretty tough guy.
Keith David, he's done a whole lot of stuff. He was nominated for Tony, as you say, for as a dancer in Jelly's Last Jam on Broadway. Went to Juilliard, did Shakespeare with Christopher Walken. He was in Platoon. He played he was one of the sax players in Bird. And he narrates National Geographic specials, and he does animated cartoon voices, Aladdin and Gargoyles, and
Missy is calling.
Okay, let's get back to the flick. Directed by John Carpenter, the man who turned down Fatal Attraction in favor of working with Roddy Piper and Keith David, who also won the Nobel Prize. That guy, Keith David, he's done everything, right? Do you feel like I do about Renaissance men? They need a good body slam, don't you think?
Yeah, big time.
Well, it's that time again, isn't it? Time for all the cyber people to assemble in Joe Bob's rec room and basically act like 47 rhesus monkeys all trying to speak at the same time. We do have a cyber boss in there, but he's about as effective as a wino working guard duty at the package store. If you're going to go in there, I would advise you to wear a helmet and a cup. Good luck. TNT.Turner.com/Monstervision. It's a group grope.
Come meet all the Monstervision fans in our chat room at TNT.Turner.com/Monstervision. Back to Monstervision host Professor Joe Bob Briggs, and they live on TNT.
Well, there's gonna be hell to pay now, because Roddy Piper ain't Daddy's little boy anymore. Somehow, Roddy, I can't imagine you ever being Daddy's little boy. But do you have any idea what supposedly horrible thing these aliens are doing besides telling the Earthlings to obey, sleep, and buy Frappuccinos at Starbucks, or whatever they're telling them to do?
Okay.
You have no idea when you're watching, right? When you're making a movie, you don't know what's happening.
I've got a clue. Actually, the whole movie, the subtext for Carpenter was Reaganomics. And if you notice, all the aliens are wearing Rolexes, and they're all driving BMWs, and they're all driving foreign cars, and so there was this...
All the success symbols of the Reagan era.
Exactly. And so Carpenter, at the end of the movie, you know, I'm here on a green card. I'm not allowed to vote. I've been in this country for years.
Because you're Canadian.
British Empire. And I didn't know anything about Reaganomics, you know, didn't really want to. And he wanted me to go out and tour and talk about Reaganomics and what it's doing to the country, you know, and I kind of liked Mr. Reagan. You know, I thought he was an okay guy, you know, he's a cowboy, and he done, what did he say? He done tore down that wall, you know, Brezhnev or whatever, and so that's where we had a little bit of a rub, where I wasn't in it for a political gain. I was in it to try to advance my...
So you didn't promote the movie?
I promoted the movie, but I wouldn't get into the politics of it.
You have made 17 movies, last I counted.
You think I'd catch on, huh?
We'll return now to the first of our phys ed films, They Live. Roll it. I'm Joe Bob Briggs, and people do write to me, and some of them try real hard to get on TV. Let me tell you something that won't work. Hey, Joe Bob, you remind me of a castrated pigeon. Please read this on TV and say my name and the name of my cousin and tell me when it'll be on. Okay, here's something that will work. Dear Joe Bob, not since the novels of Leo Tolstoy has there been a genius able to speak to the whole world as you have since the arrival of Monstervision. Now, you see the difference? Castrated pigeon, Tolstoy. Don't forget this. Send those letters and cards to me in care of Monstervision, 1010 Techwood Drive, Atlanta, Georgia, 30318, or email me at monstervision@turner.com. Maybe Tolstoy's a little far. William Butler Yeats, better example.
Don't miss Monstervision, hosted by Joe Bob Briggs, every Saturday night on TNT. Back to Monstervision host Professor Joe Bob Briggs, and they live on TNT.
You know, Roddy, I've been watching wrestling on TNT for a long time.
No, don't even go there. Don't even go there.
There's something I've always wanted to do.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, no, it's not what you think.
Okay. I got to change your Pampers?
No. I want to do the in-your-face, direct-to-the-camera pay-per-view challenge. And while I'm on this subject, Roddy, why is it always a pay-per-view match you guys are always screaming about? You know, May 23rd, Charlotte Coliseum. You know, guys who can't even remember where they parked their car. They can remember May 23rd, Charlotte Coliseum.
Where, when, and how.
All right, now give me a tip. What's the secret to an effective direct-to-camera pay-per-view challenge?
Well, I'll tell you, why don't you try one, and we'll take it from there.
Okay, but when you challenge a guy, do you really know what you're talking about, or do you just, or you just get carried away with screaming?
No, I don't scream as much as I try to say rip your lungs out and rip your eyes out. That's illegal. I try to keep it in the realm of what's going on and keep it contemporary, and there's a rhythm to it with a little sexual sublimation and some subtext.
Watch this.
Okay.
Roddy Piper, I got a message for you. May 23rd, Charlotte Coliseum. How was that? That wasn't mean enough.
Hang on.
All right, no.
Lighten up a bit.
All right.
But what's your opponent's name?
No, wait a minute. Let me try to get it.
Okay. All right.
It's you, okay?
That's fine. Would you mind mentioning me?
Okay. I said Roddy Piper.
Okay.
Listen,
all right.
Roddy Piper, I got a message for you. May 23rd, Charlotte Coliseum, and you got cooties. Is that better?
Well,
that's a general idea, right?
Roddy Piper? Hey, where do you come from, right?
All right, one more time.
Okay,
and then we'll get back to the movie.
What was that? I got
Roddy Piper? All right, you don't like me saying it like that.
No, well, come on, put a little...
It's a Southern promotion. I'm from Texas.
Okay. Damn, man.
Roddy Piper, I got a message for you. May 23rd, Charlotte Coliseum. I'm going to rip you up like a 2-bit rag doll and feed you to a bulldog.
All right.
That was better, wasn't it?
Great, yeah.
It's the simile that makes it work, right?
Sure.
Or metaphor.
I wrestle. I don't have a clue what a simile is. You can tell I'm so tough. I stepped on my dog's tail, dog died. You know?
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, you did well.
Back to Monstervision host Professor Joe Bob Briggs, and they live on TNT.
All right, Joe Bob Briggs and Roddy Piper are still here. It's hanging out on Monstervision, and the message of that movie is, all right, they're different, let's kill them. And in the end, our hero exposes the remaining aliens by destroying their hypnotic transmitter. You didn't really seem to get the moment of glory that Arnold Schwarzenegger got in Terminator 2 with his thumbs up from the pool of molten lead.
Well, you know what they did on that last shot there where all the fireworks are going off and I, boom, I come down and I shoot the satellite. The guy, all day he's been talking about pirate, big guy. You know, bigger they are. Stop, Rod. I've been doing this for 20 years. And what they did is they put 5 hits on me and they put them on backwards. So they exploded into me. And yeah, so what you saw there, the pain in my face was real. And that's just what happened. I want to clear something up with Carpenter, though. Carpenter is a great director. He was smart enough to keep me in a box so I didn't go over the top, and he did a good job.
That's a great performance in that movie.
That's
Terminator 2, 1991, right?
Yep.
They Live, 1988. Kind of the same story, right? Directed by trendsetter John Carpenter. And by the way, next week is Sex Ed night here at Joe Bob Summer School.
Can I come back?
Yeah, you can come back.
Thank you very much.
We'll be showing...
I'll just be in the closet there.
We'll be showing Poison Ivy featuring Spicy Babe, Drew Barrymore, and Poison Ivy 2 with the equally spicy Alyssa Milano. And our guest lecturer next week is Nancy Friday. She's the author of those SEX books.
Ooh.
They're the ones you found in your mom's nightstand drawer. I don't know if you ever read those, Roddy. Meanwhile...
National Geographic was my big...
Oh, okay. Roddy Piper is sticking around with us for our next flick, Immortal Combat, a sensitive romantic tale about ancient Mayan steroid monster zombie kung fu killers living in a Caribbean jungle where they are being trained to become the new Iraqi army.
Thank you, Bob Joe.
Sure, we've seen that before, right? But have we seen it with Roddy Piper in a starring role and with Meg Foster sleeping with all the steroidal warriors before they're chased down, executed, and restored to life with voodoo drugs? I think not. I don't think we've seen that. Roddy, where was this movie actually shot?
In Villahermosa, Mexico, right on the border of Guatemala.
See? Why can't we shoot this show in some Club Med spot like that? Was that a nice place to work?
Oh, it was horrible.
Horrible.
Oh, yeah. I hate snakes,
and you
especially the well-dressed kind, you know. Yeah.
But you had problems down there?
Problems? Are you kidding me? Rod, back up just down that jungle path, just a little more in the jungle. Did you see that, Sammy? That gringo's stupid enough to come down here. You know, I had a ball.
Somebody told me the locals almost killed your bodyguard.
Yeah, they hung him.
They hung him?
They hung him, yeah. Well, the well hung. He got pulled up on the rope, and what happened. It's a long story, but he's...
Why do you have a bodyguard? How tough does that guy have to be?
It's more a convenience, you know. People are pretty nice to me. They don't mean no harm, but every once in a while you get a guy with alcohol guts, and I don't want to get sued.
Oh, and so the other guy beats him up.
Basically, yeah. Yeah. And then I call him an independent contractor, like promoters call me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. How many wrestlers worked on this flick? Because I remember Tiny Lister shows up here.
Yeah, but Tiny Lister's not a wrestler. He did that No Holds Barred with Hogan, but he's mainly an actor.
Okay.
And as far my bodyguard, he's a boxer.
So you're the only wrestler?
Yeah, I'm the only wrestler on
All right. Well, let's do those drive-in totals, and when we'll get to it. 30 dead bodies. 2 breasts. We won't be showing those, unfortunately, in the TNT version. Neck snapping, sword fighting, killer Chippendale dancer, headbutting, throwing stars to the forehead, dart to the head, throat ripping, flaming Mayan, and that is not a cocktail, 15 kung fu scenes, 3 stars. Check it out, and we'll be here with Roddy Piper the whole way through.